The U.S. men's national team just tied Canada at home 1-1, and now we have 2 points in 2 games for World Cup qualifying. Hi, if you're new here, I am Angry Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV. Also, this is our 7 Things We Learned series. Every time the U.S. men's national team plays, the following day, we give you 7 things we learned out of this match, or takeaways, whatever you want to call it. There's obviously more. So tell me on the comment section what you learned and help me learn more, because I will be reading through them even though I'm tired and I'm recording this at 2 a.m. So the first thing I want to say before we get to the takeaways is it's not time to panic yet, but it is time to take action. World Cup qualifying is at risk. Even though there's only 2 games played, there's a lot of alarms that have been set off. And we've been seeing this throughout the summer. Even though we saw trophies, the performances are still not good, and we're just not having the same luck as we had before. So it is alarming, and Greg has a lot of blame. We're going to talk about it on the takeaways. So while you're at it, guys, don't forget to hit the like button if you don't like Greg Berhalter, and if you like him, do it as well. But you know what unifies all the U.S. men's national team fans? Hit the like button if you don't like Jason Christ. Why am I bringing Jason Christ? I don't know. It's late. Let's roll the intro, and let's start with lesson number 1. Okay, so lesson number 1 is something we didn't really learn in the game. We learned before the game, and it is that Weston McKennie is very immature. And yes, look, I don't know exactly what happened, but he apparently violated some protocols that he had to follow. He also had some issues in Juventus last season. Remember Party Boy Weston, the party he had during it? So look, I don't know what he did, so I might be being a little bit too harsh. I don't think I am. He's one of the key players of this team, a leader in this team as well. He can't be getting suspended for silly things. He's assuming guilt, okay? Weston McKennie's immature is lesson number 1. Okay, lesson number 2, and I mean, you guys might want to stay for 7. 7's the best one. But look, lesson number 2, I'm not going to say Greg has to go or Greg out, because it's not going to happen right now, right? So lesson number 2 is Greg has to learn. A lot of his decisions just don't make sense. Why bring only a 26-man roster when you can bring more players? Just look at it. The player replacements. He just lost Zach Steffen right now due to COVID. He brought in Sean Johnson. So that means he could have replaced Tim Weah. So the 26-man roster actually became 25. Along with that, you had issues with Christian Pulisic. So it was actually a 24-man roster. Why not bring more players? We could have had Green and De La Torre at least as options. Maybe he doesn't rate them, but we didn't have midfielders. He had to put Roldan, but we had no other midfielders. Maybe James Sands, a young player. Why did he not bring more options? Wingers. He could have replaced these players, or he could have brought a 30-man roster or 28. Regardless, Greg needs to learn. Don't forget also that in Gold Cup, we had issues on the winger position. When we lost Paul Arriola, we didn't have wingers. Apparently, Greg didn't learn there, hasn't learned it now. And if he's still our coach by October, which I personally think he will be, will he have learned? Another thing he has to learn that got quite clear was issues with his in-game management, which is gonna lead me now to lesson number 3. Well, lesson number 3 is sometimes coaches make changes late in the game to waste time. Sometimes they make changes, something tactical they notice towards the end, or they need fresh legs. Some coaches only make late subs because they're clueless. And it looks like Greg is clueless in his in-game management. The subs took too long. We were getting outplayed for a good part of that second half by Canada. It was looking really dangerous, and Greg wouldn't change. He didn't make actual changes until the 82nd minute. The only sub he made before that was Yedlin, which was bad, but it wasn't his fault. It was because Des got injured, so that's not Greg's fault. But the other subs took forever. 82nd minute, we needed fresh legs. We needed some tactical changes or fresh legs, and he just didn't do it. It took too long. It was too late. The subs didn't even have time to do anything. So then that's a question I have to you guys. Does Greg take too long because he trusts the team he started, or it's because he's clueless? You can comment that down below, and while you're at it, as I already said, hit that like button if you don't like Jason Christ or Greg as well. Either one. Doesn't matter to me anymore. Today's Angry Felipe. I'm not very happy. Sorry if I'm a little negative today. But that's going to be lesson number 7. I have something to say about my negativity. Hold our horses on that. That's lesson number 4. Lesson number 5 is also very quick and very straightforward. Is regardless of who's coaching the U.S. men's national team, and as of now it's still Greg, and it probably will at least be till October or longer. Hopefully he picks it up and beats Honduras and stays with his job safe and we're safe from the World Cup. Regardless of the coach, lesson number 5 is we need to play with 3 in the back. That's how the U.S. men's national has to play. Maybe if we had 3 in the back, that goal would not have happened because we would have had a center back cover Yedlin. So we need to play 3 in the back because of the way our fullbacks are. It's just a fact. Tyler Adams did a good job covering at times for Dest, and I think even for Robinson. I would have to rewatch the game for that. But the way our poll is and the talents we have on the fullback positions, we need to be playing with 3 in the back. So now off to number 6, and number 6 is more of a suggestion. That's something we could try at least, because we tried Sargent a lot and it's not working. Even though I'm not ready to quit on Sargent, it's not working. We need to continue to give Sargent chances, but we need to try different things. We tried Jordan Pifak or Siabachu. It didn't work. He wasn't good in the game. Very static. I just don't think we're going to see much of him. We will try again Daryl DK. Zardes will probably be back as well. We do need to try and play Ricardo Pepi eventually. But have we thought about maybe trying a false 9? And what do I mean by that? Brendan Harrison scored our goal, and it was a very center forward-like goal. So his presence in the box. And he has been doing that for RB Salzburg and has been played as a false 9. So just a suggestion, maybe trying Brendan Harrison as a false 9 could be an alternative. And look, Greg has tried Sebastian Lletget as a false 9. He did that, I believe, in the friendly against Wales in 2020. So why not try that? Maybe it's a solution, or maybe it can just work a few times. I'm open to that, and it's just a suggestion. Now, lesson number 7, it's an interesting one because it's something I learned more about me than about the U.S. men's national team. So throughout the summer, when we won 2 trophies, I was still very critical of this U.S. men's national team. And when I was saying that, I was being told by many people that had an agenda and an MLS propaganda and maybe associated with me or whatever it was, that I was toxic, that I was too negative, and that Greg was getting the job done and Greg knew what he was doing. So essentially what I learned is I was not overly negative. I was fair. The only problem is some people in US media, some people, the Twitter tacticians, these guys, they're just soft. There's a very soft US men's national team fan base that doesn't accept criticism. And the issue is they had trophies to back their narrative. So they were against me and I was toxic and negative. Now they're all reacting to these losses as if it was obvious, as if they had seen it, right? Everything's bad. But we've been talking about this for a while. We've been talking about how we won trophies, but we only outplayed Martinique. I've said this so many times. So the lesson I learned is I'm not as negative as I once started to believe I was because so many people were telling me that. And thanks to you guys, I also believe I'm not, because a lot of you have been supportive of me during this time and we're seeing this right now. With all that said, guys, that was lesson number 7. Hopefully we do beat Honduras on Wednesday. We really need to end with at least 5 points. If we don't, it's time to start questioning Greg more than ever. And the US Soccer Federation does have to do something about it. Look, if we get less than 5 points in this camp, if that happens for 2 camps or more, it's going to be hard to qualify. So they need to open up their eyes, wake up, and keep an eye on that, because the issues in this game are not just for this game. They happen all summer. What happened all summer is we got bailed out by talent and by luck. Alright guys, that does it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I was fair, even though I can make bad takes. Hopefully I was fair overall with what I said. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what you agree with me, what you disagree with me. Let's stay positive. I still firmly believe we will make it to Qatar. It's no time to panic. We're still fine on the table. We'll figure it out. But we need to see changes. We need to see improvements in the team. And hopefully we can pull a big win against Honduras and change this momentum and the confidence from the fans. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hit the like button before you go and have a great day.